No, we're actually beefing. I think
Okay.
he treats his own uncle like shit, and it pisses me off. I love Cenk, and he's such a kind-hearted, good person who's given Haas opportunities, which led to his career being what it is today.
Right.
The way that he trashes his own uncle is like not being pure enough. Like it was pretty infuriating to me. His audience consists of that faction of the left that I was talking about, where you have to be 100% pure. If you don't fully accept birthing person terminology, then you must be anti-trans. Like that's the group we're talking. By the way,
The Vanguard will be there, sir.
Yeah, this is a little bit of an old school throwback. Vanguard just couldn't resist the opportunity to weigh in on Ana Kasparian. Once again, throwing a pot shot at somebody who is, pretty much massively more successful than she is.
Yeah, definitely interested in this one. I'm not really sure about this podcast that she's on. Never seen an episode of it, but apparently Ana Kasparian went on this podcast, and Hasan Piker got brought up. This is some of the most intense, attacks I've seen on Hasan from Ana. From Ana, she really, explicitly lays out her beef here.
Yeah, let's take a look.
You recently tweeted about Hasan being a slave to his audience.
yeah.
Is this kind of like a big sister moment, like tough love, or are you guys actually beefing?
No, we're actually beefing. I think he treats his own uncle like shit, and it pisses me off. I love Cenk, and he's such a kind-hearted, good person who's given Haas opportunities, which led to his career being what it is today.
Right.
The way that he trashes his own uncle is like not being pure enough. Like it was pretty infuriating to me.
And if we can pause it
And I
real
think
quick.
he does.
She's talking about his uncle like as if Cenk's not also someone in media and not also a huge figure of online media, the same space that Hasan is in. It makes it unavoidable. No, you can't just be like, oh, I refuse to say anything critical. I refuse to ever disagree with this other person because they're in the same space as me, because they're related. Like, I guess you could take that approach, you could take that tack, but I don't think that it would make Hasan any more credible to be dishonest about the way he feels. And also, he said this stuff to Cenk's face. That's the other thing. I could also kind of see where Ana was coming from if Hasan was just pumping out anti-Cenk content, which he doesn't. But no, the most intense criticisms that he's leveled towards Cenk Uygur have been to Cenk Uygur's face at the Cenk's Giving annual debate they have, where they literally like make a whole fucking event out of it, out of disagreeing with each other. They literally debate IRL in person in Hasan's fucking room 30 minutes before Thanksgiving dinner. Like they do it to each other's face, and Cenk screams back.
Oh, 100%. The other thing that I'll weigh in on here is I know we all really like to lean into the whole Nepo baby critique of people. I know we like to come out here and be like, oh, who are you related to? I can't believe this guy made it in media. And of course, an element of that is undeniable when it comes to Hasan Piker, right? I think that because he was related to Cenk, he did get opportunities, but he was also exploited because he was related to Cenk, right? He came out and said that he was doing sales for ad reads and sponsorships, and that was his first big job. He was getting paid less than minimum wage in Los Angeles, and Cenk thought it was totally fine because it was his nephew.
I'll edit in the clip for the video of this.
So I interned there, and I wanted to move to Los Angeles anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And my uncle was like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to hire someone and skirt some serious like labor regulations because his family. Like I was living in the kitchen of a frat house.
Yep.
Because like LA real estate is insane. As
And
you guys know.
his pit bull fish lived in your closet on the floor. I remember that.
I was basically just like living out of a frat house kitchen. Like the chef's quarters there, and I worked at the Young Turks, and I made like I think my first year salary was like $21,000. Like it was under the.
That's like this.
I got money back from the government. Like the government was like, "You're so poor." At tax season, I was looking forward to it.
That's how much you'd make if you were. That's around how much my buddy made when he was in the Marines per year. It's like 21,000.
So I had to make my own accommodations, but that's how I started because I just had nothing else that I could do that I would enjoy doing. So I started doing ad sales at the Young Turks, and they needed someone to do like direct ad sales, and they had no idea. They had nothing. Like they had no program dedicated to like selling ads and inventory. So I basically built that out.
Right.
Advertisement, sales, and operations in its entirety.
Oh wow.
Well, that's because your uncle was letting everybody steal your sales deals too.
That's true.
His uncle would like let him massage a sales deal to the last thing, then someone would swoop it and close it and take the commission.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And his uncle would be like, "Them's the break." So it's interesting because his uncle basically at this point like tries to whiplash this, like basically be like, "I did all this to motivate you."
Are you on good terms with your uncle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
still
okay.
love him.
He talks about how Cenk was stealing his commissions for the sales that he would tee up and give them to other people to keep them happy, even though Hasan was doing all of the work. And then finally, Hasan is like, I'm tired of breaking my back for this dude and getting no recognition. I found an empty closet at the TYT studios where I'm already working. I'm going to set up an old camera and write my own show and do snippets for Facebook. And it blew up and got popular. And then his uncle realized he could commodify Hasan. He could use Hasan on screen to make money. So that's what he did until Hasan was like, you know what? I actually think, Unc, I'm going to go out on my own and I'm going to work 8 to 12 hours every single day throughout the entire pandemic, build up a massive career for myself, revolutionize how live streaming is done in the lefty content creator space. So, and to have Ana come out after all of that, after all that Hasan has accomplished, and he's accomplished a ton more than Cenk has over the last 5 to 7 years, right? Building this up on his own, an audience of people who have no love for Cenk Uygur. For you to just sit there and be like, oh, he owes it all to his uncle is crazy.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, that tale of vicious exploitation by Cenk truly even shocked me. Because obviously, I've taken a lot of umbrage with Cenk's political talking points and his corrupt nature. But even I was shocked when I found out to the degree to which he was viciously exploiting his own fucking blood, his own fucking family member. Now she wants to turn around and accuse Hasan of not being a good family member. Go back and roll the tape. Go back and roll the fucking tape, and let's hear about how fucking Cenk treated his nephew when his nephew was under his employ. As I said, I'll put that video clip in this, published version.
Do it because he is afraid of his audience. His audience consists of that faction of the left that I was talking about, where you have to be 100% pure. If you don't fully accept birthing person terminology, then you must be anti-trans. Like that's the group we're talking. By the way, sometimes Haas slips.
Sure.
And
he's streaming all
Right.
the time. You're gonna slip.
Yeah, but what I mean by slips is he'll slip about like, oh, these leftist purity chirpers, right? And
so
it's
he'll
like
say something that you agree with.
100%. Yeah. So it's like, whatever. I don't know. I have less
he wasn't
respect
talking
for
about
people.
the birthing person thing. She's referring to Hasan like bitching and moaning about some purity testing lefties, as we all do. We bitch about that in our own chat. Everyone gets annoyed when they're like just trying to be a normal human being and their chat's like, well, did you know that, like, we're talking about a movie and then someone in chat's like, did you know that people were exploited on the set of that production and the extras weren't paid very well? It's like, shut the fuck up. That's what Hasan's talking about. He wasn't referencing your random beef with a bunch of members of the online left where you doubled down on how birthing person was the biggest issue facing fucking humanity a year before a fascist re-entered the White House. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what Hasan was talking about. You didn't catch him slipping.
Yeah, she literally came out here and said, I supported everything Donald Trump said he was going to do about immigration. That is a far cry from calling out Bad Empanada for saying this guy, Graham Plattner, wants to kill Iraqis or bragged about killing Iraqis. That was the purity test Hasan was talking about. You were making fun of trans people.
Who are caught in this like doom loop of audience capture.
Right.
You like either you tell the truth or you don't. You either share what you actually think or you don't.
And again,
And
that's funny. Sorry to keep pausing it, but to accuse Hasan of being audience captured is crazy. Literally yesterday on our show, we did an entire segment about how Hasan banned any and all mention of Bad Empanada from his live chat because Bad Empanada was starting to, annoy him, and his chat was bringing it up too much. If he was afraid of his chat or like cowering to this faction of his audience that wants him to say a certain thing, he wouldn't have taken that approach. He wouldn't have said, "Get fucked. I'm banning you all." That's literally the opposite of audience capture. And that's not to say I agree with everything Hasan says. We've made videos on this channel disagreeing with Hasan.
He simps for Cenk too much still. He literally still to this day will simp for Cenk Uygur.
Yep, I think that was the last time we did criticize him. But either way, to act like Hasan is audience captured, again, feel free to disagree with him. I'm not saying Anna's not allowed to disagree with him. Obviously, she is, and she's allowed to make fucking videos about it and make it public. But that's outrageous.
Idea of throwing family under the bus to appease that mob, like I don't know. I have this thing with loyalty, which is either healthy or unhealthy. I don't know. I don't care, but it is what it is. And especially when it comes to family, especially when it comes to someone who has helped me in some way, either in building my career or helped me in some other way, I'm not going to turn my back on them the second it becomes uncomfortable to support them. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And talking about
You
family
literally
and
did that with
loyalty,
like
we want to
fucking
shout out our
multiple
sponsors.
different members of the TYT family. She talks about loyalty and how she just can't she can't break with someone who she's had a history with or that's like, been part of it. You literally threw like fucking 5 members of the TYT family in the trash. Lance from the Surfs, Bonnie, Mayor Mondale, Ben Dixon, Francesca Fiorentini. That's 5 people. You could probably come up with more names if you kept thinking, right? 5 people she threw in the fucking garbage, threw under the wheels of the bus. Why? Because they dared to disagree with her on a fucking political network where they're supposed to be a family, but disagreements aren't allowed. No pushing back on Mama Anna. If you do, you're out on the fucking street. That sounds like an abusive family if it's going to be a family, a TYT family or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, 100%. Also, as Cenk loves to point out, the Majority Report was part of the TYT umbrella family, right? They were a broadcast in support of TYT and the TYT network, right? I don't think they have been for, half a decade or more, but at one point they were. And now Anna won't even mention a fucking nice word about them. She can't say anything positive about their coverage. She's not interested in engaging with them. She thinks they're all insincere and not worth talking to. But do you know who is worth talking to, Gavin? These random assholes on CNN all the time, including but not limited to Ben Shapiro, right? She's happy to go on a CNN panel and support mainstream media, which she spent the first decade of her career relentlessly criticizing. Right now, her and Ben Shapiro and all the other desperate people from Jillian Michaels, the people from the first wave of independent media whose ships are sinking. The Daily Wire is cooked. The Young Turks is cooked. What do they have to do? They have to parade themselves out on CNN together. And it's just crazy to me to think that you can have a constructive, good conversation with Ben Shapiro on a CNN panel, but you can't have a good constructive conversation with Sam Cedar or Emma Vigeland in the Majority Report studio. That's nuts.
Yep. With that being said, I have been informed that Anna does cook in this clip, so we're willing to give credit where it's due. Do you want to take a look?
Yeah, might as well. I didn't want to lead with that, but she does kind of bring it home in this one.
Hard jobs, they're on their feet. It depends on what job.
I'm not saying if you're working backbreaking labor and your leg is falling off that you should be.
I mean, by the way, I just totally reject what you just said about how we're going bankrupt due to Social Security. Really, you don't think like the trillions of dollars we've spent on wars in the Middle East might have something to do with that?
It's not even
our national debt.
Our
national debt shot up significantly after 9/11, after we started invading countries in the Middle East.
You should look at a chart.
Now we're at 30.
In 2008,
we're spending hundreds of billions of dollars on Israel, on Ukraine. I mean, honestly, these foreign conflicts have a lot more to do with our national debt as opposed to us paying into Social Security.
You think Israel is a bigger portion of our budget than Social Security?
I think we spend way too much money on military aid for foreign countries.
You think Israel is more?
Do you think that Social Security is more of an issue compared to how much money we just shell out for conflicts abroad?
The truth matters
that both entitlements and defense are hard.
Jobs. Is it technically? I actually don't know. Like, if you looked at the fucking day, like which we spend more on Social Security, because we probably do spend a fucking fat amount on Social Security. I wouldn't deny that, but still a great moment from Anna.
Yeah, and he narrows the number in to make it smaller by saying how much aid we give to Israel, right? When Anna's talking about not only foreign aid, but also our immense foreign conflict footprint, which is in like bases. 8 to 12 fucking countries, and then obviously are like fucking hundreds of military bases all over the world. So anyway,
either way, I mean, I'm glad she's debating Ben Shapiro or like sticking up for Social Security or whatever. Good. She's for
playing
her.
Wiffle ball now.
Yeah, exactly. And I've long said that she's been looking for an exit at TYT, looking for a way out, looking to make a little bit more money. Because going back to Hasan, Zach, the first couple times she took shots at Hasan, it wasn't like, oh, I'm just defending Cenk, and I can't believe that Hasan would disagree with his uncle. Like, oh, what a scandal. This nephew disagreed with his uncle, and they're both public, opinion commentators. What a scandal. Isn't this beneath that? So that's what she's going with now. But back in the day, let's be honest, Anna's criticism of Hasan, the beef she had, which she started, was that Hasan made a lot of money playing video games. And oh, if I could just play fucking video games all day and make that much money, you bet I would too. Like literally fucking demeaning his profession, trying to act like he's not actually talented and that just anyone could replicate his success, anyone who is good at video games, completely undermining his talents as a political commentator, which are undeniable. You know what I'm saying? Not to just keep glazing Hasan, but yeah, the dude is charismatic. He's a great communicator. He's oftentimes a very good debater. There's a reason why he's successful. It's not just because Cenk like gave him a fucking opportunity or something.
Yeah, you don't get to 40,000 concurrent viewers without making a few enemies. You know.
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be there, sir.